Good morning, I'm Valerie, and today I am going to give you a persuasive speech on why you should adopt a pet from a shelter rather than get one from a breeder. So, have you ever been up late at night and you see this commercial that comes on and it has the sad music and the dogs that are behind the little kennels and they show cats that look malnourished running around and they're asking, oh, please adopt from our shelter or can you donate food to our shelter? And you're kind of like, okay. Well, or you'll see them in the morning on the news and they have them all nice and cleaned up with a couple of news anchors and they tell you, come on down to our Humane Society and adopt a pet. And you see those and you're like, oh, they're cute. And you think about it, and you go home and maybe you tell your spouse or your family member and they're kind of like, no, we have enough here. So that's what I'm going to talk to you today about, are those animals that you see on the TV and the ones that you see on the news station, and why you should adopt a pet from a shelter and not get one from a breeder. So, true story. My mom just got one from the Humane Society. His name is Buddy. And she had lost her Dalmatian. And she said, I think I want to get one from a shelter rather than go through a breeder. My whole family, we have gotten our animals from breeders. I've had two Shih Tzus. One has passed away. I still have my Cleopatra, which I showed you on my first video. My sister has a Saint Bernard. My mom had a Dalmatian. My aunt, she has a Terrier Pinscher one. And we've always gone to breeders. So when my mom said, I want to get one from the shelter, I said, well, let's look into it. Let's see what the pros and the cons are, because we're not really familiar of even the benefits or what you would get from getting a pet from a shelter. So maybe by me telling you this will persuade you, just like as I was doing my research, it persuaded me to like, hey, maybe I want to get my Cleopatra little friends and pick one, a dog from the shelter. So my mom got her dog Buddy from the Humane Society. Buddy was cute. He was in the little corner all shriveled up, needing a home. And she said, I think I'll take him home. When she got Buddy home, he was scared to come out from underneath the couch. He hid underneath the bed. And it took a couple of days of him just getting used to us, getting used to being around people and a family. But he wasn't violent. He was just really scared. So by the end of the day, it's been a couple of weeks now, and Buddy is doing okay. So upon us doing our research on animals from the shelter and animals coming from a breeder, the sad truth about the animals coming from a shelter is that 1.5 million of them get euthanized a year. 670,000 of those are dogs. 870,000 of those are cats. Upon research, we also found out that there are up to 1,000 cats in a week that are dropped off at these humane societies. And there's maybe 500, they said half of that number of dogs that are dropped off. But they said that's in a month. They get more cats rather than dogs that are being dropped off to their humane society. Now, as far as that's the sad truth about the pets that you see in the shelters. They're abandoned. The sad truth about going to a breeder is you are going to spend money. You're not going to get a purebred dog nowadays for $500. They're going to up to $1,000. Another sad truth is you don't know how many times the mama dog has been breeded. Most breeders will breed that dog 4 times before they retire her in a year, just to get as much litters out of them as they can. And sometimes they keep them, the mama, for themselves as a pet, as an indoor pet, and they'll just get a new one. And sometimes they'll take that one to a shelter. Another thing, as far as the sad truth about getting from a breeder, is you don't know how that breeder is towards those pets that they're breeding. So you have some breeders out here to just breed and breed and breed because it's a quick income. It's easy to breed a dog and, oh, you got these cute little puppies and you can take care of them. I did read into that about breeders. Now, some positives. Let's go into the positives about getting a dog from a shelter. When you get a pet from a shelter, they will give that pet to you. They will get them caught up to their shots. The pets, they normally will get them spayed or neutered, whichever is female or male. And you will get normally a little paper. You'll get a couple of groomings so that you can come back and the dog can get groomed. They got the little rabies collar. You'll get that that's a positive. And you get to take that pet home. Another positive is if that pet doesn't get along with maybe dogs that you have already there, they do have, believe it or not, it's called a temporarily visit, where the puppy can go, the dog that you get from a shelter can go home for 24 hours with you. And if they don't get acclimated, or they're just your dogs, they're just bumping heads, or it doesn't work for you, you can bring them back to the shelter. And all of that is normally about $20, $25. There is now Austin shelter is a little bit more. I looked into that. It's $75 for you to adopt a pet. So those are some of the benefits of getting a pet from a shelter. You know they're caught up on their shots. They've been sprayed and neutered. You get little coupons for them to be clipped if they needed to be clipped, or any of those good things. Now, the positives about getting a dog from a breeder is you know exactly what kind of dog you're getting. You know how old the dog is. They will give you papers. They normally will take them to the vet, and the vet will qualify them as being a pure breed animal. And so you know what you're bringing home. You already know. Let's go back to the adoption. A couple of things that are kind of bad is you don't quite know the age of the pet that you're bringing home. Whereas on a breeder side, you know the age. And you know what kind of breed for sure you're bringing home. Rather, when you get one from a shelter, sometimes they are mixed breeds, and they have a little trouble telling you what kind of breed that it is. Anyhow, I just feel that adopting a pet from a shelter is a little more better than bringing a dog from a breeder. Just because why do we need to keep breeding animals when a lot of them end up getting taken back to a shelter, or it doesn't work out? And that just condones breeders to keep breeding and breeding when there are several pets out here that need love. I hope that I was able to convince you in this speech to adopt a pet from a shelter rather than getting one from a breeder, and to prove to you that only after a couple of weeks of love and care. I did have Buddy sitting right here, but he's done ran off. Buddy, come here. I want to show you now. Buddy is just full of hugs and kisses. This is Buddy right here. Hey, Buddy. You get such good kisses. Yes, you do. He is just a happy little dog, and we rescued him from a shelter. And this is my mom's new dog, and I'm trying so bad to take him home back to Austin with me. So, mwah, say hi, Buddy. You're so cute. Mwah. This dog used to hide underneath the couch and was scared to come out, barked at every noise that he heard. And now he's just a little lovable dog that gets kisses, and he's happy. He didn't get euthanized. He didn't get put down or anything. So I hope that me and Buddy have convinced you to adopt a dog from a shelter. And that is all for today. Bye.